People always ask me, when thinking about Derek Halverson, if I want him to be aware that if I fear him versus love him, I want him to know the answer is both. I fear how much I love him. Derek, a lot of memories. I would like to say that one of my favorite memories I have with you is also one of my greatest nightmares. It wakes me up in a cold sweat most nights, which is going on vacation with you, going on a long bike ride, not knowing the destination, not knowing the midpoint, not knowing if I'll ever kiss my wife again, not knowing if I'll ever see my children again. So far, it's worked out. On the last trip we took, we were going down different roads, dirt roads, looking at signs in a language I didn't understand and couldn't read, and we barely made it back. But I want to thank you. It was exciting. And I am going to my counselor frequently. People will say, can you think of things that you share in common with Derek? And there's many things I share in common. We both play college football. We both love putting in chest tubes. We're both storytellers. Raconteur, as they would say.
I think that's pronounced raconteur.
I've heard it both ways. People say, when thinking about Derek, is there a word that you think describes him well? And I can think of two: brevity and concise. He's both when he tells stories. He does an excellent job of telling a concise story, straight to the point, no deviation. And that's a gift. In all seriousness, though, happy 50th birthday. You are one of the most caring people I know. Your heart is deep. You have a great smile. You have a great laugh. And I think it's amazing you made it through your 40s without any gray hair. Just like me. Happy birthday, Derek. Love you, man.
Hey, Peggy, cancel my 5 o'clock. Papa needs a nap. What? They're here? Oh, oh, hi. Have you been waiting long? Sorry about that. Remind me what we're here again? Derek Halverson. Did he die doing something reckless and dangerous? Oh, good, good. He's turning 50. Lord, I thought that happened years ago. Well, good for him. Yeah, that's the well, we're gonna talk about Derek. I think I need a drink. How about that? Can I get you something? Here, I'll grab the good stuff. I think I got something up here. Hold on a second. Yeah, there it is. There it is. Okay. Ah, Derek. Well, that's great. Here you go. Cheers. So, what's my favorite thing about Derek, huh? I mean, I guess that's a tough one. I think his style is really what's just, stands out. So envious of his style. It's actually pretty hard to describe. I mean, it's like if Derek Zoolander had a cousin Eddie, right? I mean, like that's Derek Halverson. It's, you can't replicate it. We try, but once Derek slides into that outfit, it's nobody else can match that. Had so many good memories. Favorite one? I mean, I think I wouldn't pick one. I mean, it's hard to say. Look, like just this last year, the Wee Wee Ball Championship, that was amazing. I mean, going back a bit, you got that time we went golfing at night without the golf clubs or the ball. I think we probably actually traversed a alligator-infested creek that night. Good times. Yeah, and then there's, I mean, what stands out are all the time, whether it's fishing, rafting in the river, Derek always had that rubber suit on. I remember that. Rubber, like what we wear in the water, rubber suit. Oh, wetsuit, rubber suit, potato. Boy, he loved that thing. Well, Derek from the Bakers, happy 50th. Wish we could be there. Looking forward to seeing you soon. I will leave you with one moment of Zen before we break this merry celebration. But cheers. Love you, buddy. Take care.
So apparently it is Derek Halverson's 50th birthday. Happy birthday, Derek. And Greta Halverson has asked us to do a little Talking Heads video honoring Derek a la Michael Scott in The Office, which is a TV show I hate, by the way. My kids claim that I secretly love it, but it's a little too cringy for me. So just for you, Derek, this is my homage to The Office. When I think of 3 words to describe Derek Halverson, it's not bears, beets, and Battlestar Galactica. It is beers, bikes, and badass Mercedes Sprinter van. And when I think of 3 things that I love about Derek Halverson, this is what comes to mind. First, he can fix anybody's anything, whether it's a item that's broken or a person that's broken. He will MacGyver the hell out of it. So he is super handy to have around. We at the LaSalle household tend to save up our house projects just until Derek's next visit, which, by the way, Derek, it's been a while. It's time to head back to Spokane. We've got a few projects for you. Thank you for fixing our towel bar, by the way. But he's also really handy to have around, especially if he's taking you on an adventure activity, because you are more than likely to come away injured in some way. So whether it is, as in my own personal experience, going on an easy bike ride that I was ill prepared to do and bruised to the nether regions and couldn't walk for 2 days, or whether it's your ego that's bruised because you can't keep up with Derek because he's 5 miles ahead and you're huffing and puffing, Derek is there to fix it and offer you an ice pack or a hug. So super handy guy to have around. The other thing I love about Derek is that I know no grown-up man that loves to play dress up more than Derek. And I would like to submit 3 photos as evidence. Here is the first one. Get ready, ladies. This is hot stuff. Here we go. Look at that. Oh, and he makes us laugh, of course. Picture number 2. Nice. Look at those legs. I think Derek likes to show off his legs, as is evidenced by picture number 3. Who else can rock a pair of 1970s polyester, way too tight gym shorts like Derek Halverson? Nobody else can. And number 3, more serious this time. Derek, you are one of the most generous, loving, devoted people I know, and I'm so honored to call you friend. So with that, I will wish you a very happy birthday. I love you, Dee.
My favorite thing about Derek? I don't play favorites.
My favorite memory with Derek, well, I don't necessarily recall all the details, but I remember when we were kids, we were out on this bike ride. It was evening, and we were causing a bit of mischief, and we started to get chased by the cops. And, we pedaled and made our way away from them. And then at one point, we just felt like we were floating. We were flying through the air. And yeah, as I say, the details are a bit foggy, but I remember it so fondly.
One word I would use to describe Derek? Talented. I mean, the guy is just so darn talented. What can he do? He can sing. He can dance, he can play the guitar, he can ride his bike. Girls want to be with him. Guys want to be like him. I mean, I'm jealous of the guy. He's so talented. But, in a way, he's my hero, really. That's how I would describe him. And I kind of have made a song for him. So, you know, if he's out there, and maybe this will get to him at some point. But here goes. Here goes. Derek's my hero, and he's 50 years old. Derek Halverson, the Aussies just wanted to say happy birthday. Happy 50th birthday.
Happy birthday, Derek!
We're missing one. They were off a little bit. And we're missing one. She's away at college. But happy birthday, buddy, and looking forward to see you soon.
Bye.
My favorite thing about Derek is his smell. He smells like nobody's business. One day I was walking through the mall with my kids, and we walked through a department store. Not sure which one it was. Maybe JCPenney or Gottschalk's. And my kid says to me, "Derek must be here." I said, "Oh, did you see him?" And he said, "No, I can smell him." My favorite memory with Derek is he met me at the hospital. I just had a really bad accident. I broke a whole bunch of bones, and I was all geeked up on goofballs, and he takes me to the pharmacy. I was not wearing a shirt, and I just had a towel over me, and I was dry heaving into a small bucket. I couldn't have felt worse. And Derek took it upon himself to make a joke out of it. When I was hurting, I needed support. And he took a selfie of himself smiling and laughing and yucking it up with just some other people that were there in the pharmacy. And he took a photo of himself doing these things with me in the background at one of the lowest points of my life, dry heaving into a bucket with no shirt on, a towel over my shoulders at Rite Aid. If I had one word to describe Derek, it would be white bean and kale soup.
Well, I think one of the words that describes Derek best is kind and funny. I love how willing he is to wear costumes. I love knowing that he owns a Chewbacca suit that he's willing to schlep many places. And one of my silliest memories, I think in the last year or so, is that I had to ask for rides after my ankle surgery quite a bit, or take Ubers home. And I was getting kind of like tired of talking to Uber drivers. And I thought, oh, you know, maybe I'll kind of hang around after my shift and see if I can get a ride home. And Derek's shift ended like kind of close, although I'm not on the way home. So I kind of tentatively was like, hey, friend, like, would it be okay to get a ride home? And Derek's like kind, friendly face just like fell. And he goes, oh man, I really would, except I rode my bike. And I'm laughing because the next thought that came in my head was if I could ride in a basket like E.T., which I feel like was one of his Halloween costumes. So I think I made some joke about like riding in the basket. And I just remember like laughing till we cried. Must have been like 1 a.m. about if I could have gotten a ride home on his bike in a basket down the like Southwest Hills. And one, that it was funny, but also just that like Derek's kindness extends to great lengths, and that one of the main reasons I've been so thankful to take a risk and leave my old job and come to this new place is that having a friend like Derek, who's become such a part of my work and friend life, has meant so much. So it's a joy to celebrate your 50th, determined somehow to like throw some kind of bash. And I just think the world of you, friend, and I hope that this 50th year is just the best.
Alrighty, so what is your favorite thing about Derek?
I would have to say that my favorite thing about Derek is that he reminds me of his grandfather, who's my dad, in so many ways. He is kind. He is always tinkering, always trying to make things better. He's incredibly creative and curious. That's my favorite thing about Derek. What is your favorite memory of Derek?
So, Jane and I were a pretty new thing, and she asked me if I was interested in going to a St. Thomas football game. So I said, sure. She said her nephew was playing, and I'm like, absolutely, love to go to the game. So we went to the game, beautiful day. Probably the first time I met Cheryl and Bob as well. But we were sitting up in the stands, and the football team's doing their thing, right? They're warming up, and they're getting ready, and they all come over to the sidelines. There's family everywhere, you know, up in the bleachers. It's full of fans and whatnot. And they're like thumping on each other's pads, the players, and they're like, you know, getting each other really jacked up for the game. And everybody's got their football face on, and Derek turns around and looks up in the stands, finds a family, and he like waves, you know? And I remember thinking, well, this guy's different. And that was pretty cool.
Well, my favorite memory of Derek is he's in medical school, right? So Beth and I were frequenting one of our uptown haunts when we lived in that neighborhood. Bar Abilene used to have killer guacamole and a nice patio outside. We're sitting out there. Here's Derek. Derek shows up, right? And, you know, keep in mind my memory's a little spotty, so I might be embellishing a tiny bit. But Beth's memory is that he had been ring shopping that day, just a little aside. So we're just having a beer and having a conversation, and he says, so do you have anything special planned this weekend? You know, it was Pride weekend in the Twin Cities, and we said, well, we always go to the gay pride parade, not that we really enjoy it, but we kind of feel obligated to do it, and we, you know, go to the same spot, and we, you know, wait for the guy who's rented the U-Haul trailer to come by in his skivvies. That's definitely a highlight, and then we can disperse as we see fit. So he's like, well, where do you usually stand? And so we kind of vaguely, you know, said about, because we don't really even know, you know. And so Derek, the next day during the gay pride parade, wades through 100,000 plus people and finds us. And I would have never, first of all, expected that. Secondly, I would have never imagined what an ally is about, but he showed me that day. So that was pretty awesome.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. So as far as one word, which is really hard, I'm sure everybody's going to struggle with this, and it'll be interesting to see what everybody says, but I would have to use the word unique to describe Derek.
And I would use the word solid.
Happy birthday. Happy 50th.
Love you, Derek.
Love you.
So Evan, what do you think of Derek?
I hate him. He's the worst. Listen, here's the problem. From the moment I met him, he's been awesome. Simply awesome. He can fix anything. He's a doctor. Steve loves him the most. I've never liked him. The problem is, he's so damn nice. You can't stay mad at him forever. Having said that, it's nice to know that he's turning 50. It's about time you got old. Slow down. Stop making it hard on the rest of us. And by the way, did everyone see the number 3? That's because I'm in 3rd place. But what is he? Awesome. Hey man, happy birthday. Hope you liked it.
We love you, Uncle Derek. You're number 1. We think you're awesome.
Not all of us.
Cheers.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, action. Derek Halverson, happy birthday. It's your buddy Lou. Wanted to wish you a happy 50th. I hope you're having a great time with friends and family. You are an awesome guy. Have been for most of the time that I've known you. I think we were common law. I know we were common law for our years together as roommates. One of my best friends, my brother from another mother. Kind of family, I guess I consider myself, even though I don't get invited on family trips. Not a big deal. Maybe someday I'll earn a spot, but I hope you're having a great day, a great week. I hope you're celebrating with friends and family. I wish I could be there. I know my family wishes we could all be there. We always enjoy seeing you guys when you're back in town, and hope to see you soon this summer. Have a great day, buddy. Love you. Bye.
Happy birthday, Derek. We love you.
Happy birthday, Derek. It's hard to believe you're turning 50. Oh my goodness. I mean, it seemed like yesterday you and Lou were just starting at St. Thomas, but time does fly by. But wishing you the very best forever, and wonderful family you have too. So happy birthday, bud.
Yeah, happy birthday, Derek. I feel like you're 30, but I'm going to tell you something. It's because of the stories that I hear from Lou about some of your adventures, the two of you. That's why Terry and I are going to live to be 120, because we laugh so much. You are joy to us, and we send you our very best. Have a great one.
Have a good one, bud.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Okay, 1 minute, Derek. Happy birthday. Favorite thing, you sew things. Favorite memory, not really favorite, but impressive nonetheless. Fell off my bike, smashed my glasses into my eye socket. I ride down to you, I'm concussed, I'm a little dingy. You're like, we're gonna take care of you, this is gonna be okay, and that was cool. And then I kinda couldn't pedal out because I was going like a quarter mile an hour. And you're like, I'm gonna go get the van, and then the van comes down over the horizon, coming down the hill like an ambulance, and boom, I'm in the Sprinter van and I'm home. Then it's like I'm on an OR table, but it's actually your kitchen table. Probably not what you and Steph envisioned when you put the table in, but it works great. Great OR, great result. This is the before. And then here's the after. Looking pretty good. You're a great guy, you're really good at things. The one word I would use would be humble, because people are generally seen as jacks of all trades and master of none, but you are the master of many trades, and I love you. Thanks.
I was asked by Derek's family to say a couple things about my brother Derek. And I want to start off with, the first question was, what is one of my favorite things about Derek? I think my favorite thing about Derek is that he's a doctor, and that I know if I ever stub my toe, if I burn it in a George Foreman grill, or God forbid if I eat some bad food, that I can call him, and I mean, I'll probably have to leave a message. He'll probably be doing something awesome, like working in his garage or something, but then I'll know he'll call me back in, 3-4 days, and he'll be able to talk to me then, and having him in my corner in that way is makes me feel good. Just very, very cared for. One of my favorite memories about Derek, probably our trip to Canada. I mean, I don't really remember it very well, but that was a good, I think that was a good time. And, Oktoberfest was a great memory with the family, and getting to hang out with Derek and Kirk and everybody. That was an amazing memory for sure too. And one word to describe Derek is, I've been, going back and forth about what word describes Derek. It's so hard. I think the word that comes to mind is brother. Not like Hulk Hogan brother, but like real brother, like we have the same mom, like he's my brother.
Anyway, I want to say happy birthday. Oh wait, scratch that. It's his 50th birthday, isn't it? Not brother. The word now that comes in mind is old. 50. Whew. That's something. So anyway, happy birthday, D. I'm sorry we won't be there to celebrate with you guys, but love you very, very much, and happy 50th birthday. And yeah, we have a amazing time celebrating, so take care.
What is my favorite thing about Derek? My husband Jeff can get the rage when he can't figure something out. So I just tell him, go ask Derek. If he doesn't know the answer, he'll spend a lot of time thinking about the answer. That's my favorite thing about Derek. Favorite memory of Derek? Well, we Buellers don't do parties, birthdays, holidays very well. Derek helped the Buellersons celebrate Jeff's 50th birthday in a Halverson manner. One word to describe Derek? Jeff took humble, I'll take modest. We had to look up the difference. Now that Jeff told him he's humble, he now is modest. Happy birthday, Dee. Yay.
Hey, Derek. Happy birthday. Welcome to the 50s Club. I have to say, I've been 50 for about 9 months, and it's the GOAT of all ages. You're going to love it. So welcome to the club. And let's see. In terms of memories of Derek, I just want to say it's not necessarily just a memory, but it's appreciation for Derek and his dad's time that they volunteered to coach baseball and just kind of create that positive vibe in the young kids for moving forward with their baseball careers. It meant a lot to Addie and to me, so thanks for that. And in terms of a word to describe Derek, I think that's really easy. I heard that he can do the splits, and I think that's incredible. I haven't seen it. I'd love to see it. But so the term or the word that comes to my mind for Derek was 2 words, but weirdly flexible. And I think that sums it up. But anyway, happy birthday, and thanks for everything. Enjoy 50, it's the best.
So we were supposed to give a little video about Derek, and he's a tough guy to give a video about just because, yeah, he's a unique dude. Let's see. What's my favorite memory with Derek? You know, we've been on a lot of adventures together, and I do have one thing that stands out in that he had this new fangled dropper post back when dropper posts on mountain bikes were new, and we were riding up the end of the Browns camp ride, and he just started yelling and swearing, and I was up ahead of him a little bit, and I thought like a bear had attacked him or something. I was like, holy cow, I gotta go back there. And I go back there, and his dropper post, which was pretty unreliable at that point, had just dropped down and wasn't working right. And I was just laughing so much. Like the amount of expletive he could generate for a dropper post was pretty incredible. But that does kind of leave me to one of my favorite things about him, is that he, you know, as a guy who can keep it together extremely well, he and I have become very good friends, and I think there's a closeness there where I get to hear the unedited expletive, and I do appreciate that, especially when I wish I could let that out sometimes a little bit better myself. One word to describe Derek, I would have trouble coming up with a word to describe Derek. I think at his core, he's one of the best dudes I know. Like, if there's a guy with a true kind of internal, moral, whatever you want to call it, compass, Derek is that guy. I've seen it at work. I've seen it out of work. It is, as far as I can see, it is, hasn't been proven wrong. And then, yeah, I'm just excited to be a close friend, excited to be somebody I'll always put in my inner circle. Happy birthday, Derek.
All right, what's my favorite thing about Derek? I mean, it's got to be his hair, right? I mean, he could have been the CEO of something, politician, actor. I mean, he's got quite the mop up there for sure. But besides his hair, probably my second favorite thing is just Derek himself. Not to be too sappy, but he's probably one of the best, just all around good people I know. A great friend. He's, very giving. He's selfless. He's an amazing husband, an amazing father. Really someone we all emulate to, try to be just like. But back to that hair, since you're turning 50, Derek is known for these little rants at work where he gets frustrated, and I'll demonstrate in a second, but he usually takes a big sigh and then bangs the desk and the mouse computer and then goes straight to his hair with his hands, kind of like, and pretty soon he's gonna look just like this. You hit 50, it's gonna come out in handfuls. I just can't wait to see it. But be careful. Your hair may be on its last legs. So, favorite story about Derek: kale white bean stew. Say no more. That's all there is to it. And then one word to describe Derek: Cousin Eddie. Every year, I can't wait for the Christmas card. Happy birthday, buddy.
Happy birthday, Derek. Hey, I'm supposed to say just one favorite thing about you? Come on. It's a little limiting. Probably my favorite memory is at the end of a soccer game. I think it was at Jackson Middle School. The girls were playing soccer, and our boys were playing with their Legos. They dropped a couple of their little Lego guys down this drainage grate, and I had tried, of course, with my frame, not able to lift this grate, save the Lego guys. And here comes Derek, walks over, literally, I'm going to say almost with one hand, lifts this massive steel grate. Lego guys are accessed. Boys are happy. And I'm just like, okay, that was ridiculously casual and amazing. So one word to describe Derek, and I'm going to call you out, I feel bad outing you in this way, but I'm going to say superhero. So there you have it. Derek is a superhero. Happy birthday, man. Enjoy.
When you were a kid growing up and there was always that one kid in school who made everything look really easy, like they weren't really having to work that hard, but they would always get an A, never seemed to do homework, and were always out having fun. Things still went really well. Well, that kind of reminds me of Derek. But in a little bit different way, Derek always makes you feel good about it. And I think that's what I really like about Derek. I remember I wanted to build some legs for our table, and he was like, yeah, we can do that. So we welded them together. Derek made it seem like, I had done like 3/4 of the work, and those were really my legs that I had welded. But truth be told, Derek did the whole thing. All right. Happy birthday, Derek.
Okay. Okay. I like Uncle Derek because he's caring. He's helpful at the cabin and great biker. Wait, why am I here again?
It's his birthday.
Oh, it's his birthday? How old is he turning? 50. 50? I like his determination for biking.
Good point.
I like his bravery. I like his strength.
Yeah.
Good guy overall.
I agree. What's it like to have him as an uncle?
Good.
Yeah?
He's nice, yeah.
You approve?
Mm-hmm.
If you were an animal, what kind of animal would he be?
I would be...
No, what kind of animal would Uncle Derek be?
Oh, that guy? Maybe... Lion.
All right, so we'll put it on Finsta afterwards? Okay, sounds good. Well, you know, I'm really excited to be able to talk about Uncle D-Man. You know, as a fellow Funkle, you know, I kind of pride myself in being a bit of a Funkle myself.
He's a Funkle.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Totes no cap. But yeah, anyway, so, you know, the two of us, you know, we like to, you know, just mock a little bit, you know, hammocking for those who don't know. And, you know, we'll just be sipping on some kombucha, you know, doing a Wordle and, you know, talking about our guy D-Man and just the things we love about him. I mean, he is completely bae, let's be honest. I mean, see that guy in spandex. I mean, he is drippy, if you know what I mean. But, man, I'll tell you what, his cooking is bussin' for sure. We love the fact that, yeah, I mean, when he's operating on patients, he's bae, you know, he's totes bae. Am I right or what? Oh my gosh, high key, hashtag no cap. Liddy AF. Anyway, oh my gosh. And what about his ability to build a deck? That slaps completely.
Yep.
I mean, I love the way that the guy can skateboard, the guy can snowboard, the guy can hobby the heck out of things, you know what I'm saying? I mean, it's a vibe. It's a complete vibe. So those are things we like. But then he's just a kind guy, you know? He's just a complete sweetheart of a man. Hashtag blessed to know him. Hashtag we love him so much. So yeah, I don't really know if there's anything else to say. I mean, that's pretty much it. You know what I mean? You got anything else?
Just hope he has a great birthday.
Absolutely.
Yes.
May he have a complete totes turned up birthday where he gets Liddy AF and just celebrates with his mates. Okay, Boomer? Love the guy.
Hey, Derek. Happy birthday. You are a amazing person, a real multi-talented, multifaceted, and multi-dimensional human being. Real force of nature, national treasure, and I hope you continue to give your gifts to the world for at least the next 50 years. Happy birthday. Love you, man.
Happy birthday, Derek. Derek, words, when I think of you, I think property boundaries. Property boundaries is a concept that Derek doesn't seem to understand. When Derek moved to Stonebrook, apparently he felt his new property included an easement covering all of Stonebrook Drive. After all, Stonebrook Drive is used to valet park 3 automobiles because their garage is full of bicycles and other boy toys from Derek. It's used for storing lumber and roofing materials. It's used for discarded remodeling waste. And of course, Stonebrook Drive was the location for Derek's DIY van conversion. I was quite surprised that Derek never installed a hydraulic lift and halogen lights. But maybe those are on back order. All right, number 2, how would I describe Derek? Youthful, enthusiasm, and daring. Steph says married men live longer lives for a reason. I believe Steph will add decades to your life, Derek. Finally, on a serious note, Derek and the St. V ER staff saved my life when I had a serious heart attack in the summer of 2019. Words will never be enough to express my gratitude for your skills and actions. Thank you. Derek, I'm so happy to have you as a neighbor and your family. Happy 50th birthday.
Hey Derek, happy 50th birthday. Before I get into the questions that Greta wanted us to answer, I thought I'd say what a pleasure it's been living across the street from you and your family for the past few years. Yeah, it's just been fun to run into you in the street and talk about bikes or see you on your bike. But anyway, so my favorite thing about you is that you are a Renaissance man. You have so many interests and talents: medicine, woodworking, bikes. I've never skied with you. I'm sure you're a great skier. Okay, second question, a favorite memory. So because I don't know you that well, and it's only been a few years, I am going to wait until your 60th, and I'm sure I'm going to have a great memory. Third question, a word to describe you. There's so many words to describe you. You're so generous with your time, you're kind, you're athletic, you're energetic, but I'm going to use a Yiddish word I'm not sure you know. It's mensch. You are just an all-round good person, high integrity, knows right from wrong. A mensch is a huge compliment. So anyway, again, happy birthday and many, many more.
Hey.
Hey.
Yeah, hey. Hey, you heard that it's Derek's birthday coming up?
Yeah, it is Derek's birthday. 50. Yee, gonna be 50.
Yeah, 50. Oh, wait, yeah. So, speaking of Big Galoot, got any favorite thing about him?
Favorite thing about Derek?
Yeah.
Yeah, so the thing I love so much about Derek is that he has everything. Like if I need to borrow anything, like an industrial strength glue gun, he's got it.
Yeah.
If a recipe calls for a teaspoon of saffron, he's got it. Yep, just call him up.
The jingle.
If I need an air mattress that can withstand negative 10-degree temperatures, he's got it. He just whips everything out of his garage or van and brings it right to you. It's perfect. It's
pretty
great.
amazing.
I love that about him. How about you? What's your favorite thing about Derek?
I would say that he wears many hats.
Literally.
And figuratively, yeah. Yeah. Not only is he an amazing brother, dad, doctor, human, he can also turn into Uncle Eddie. Or next thing you know, he's Sasquatch.
You never know with that guy.
Never know. Never know. He wears many hats. Do you have a favorite memory of Derek?
So many.
I know, there's a lot. Let's just kind of narrow it down, though.
One of my favorite memories is maybe one of the first times that Derek and I hung out really was at John and Amy's wedding. And well into the evening, we decided, I don't know, we were going to go somewhere and check something out. And we ended up in a ballroom of salsa dancers. We were not supposed to be there, but we just made it through that, and it's fun.
Interesting.
Yeah. How about you? What's your favorite memory of Derek?
Oh man, like you said, so many.
You probably have a lot.
A lot. One of the most memorable things that comes to mind was the fact that I learned how to drive stick shift with Derek in a more unconventional way. I don't remember what state highway it was in Minnesota or what officer told him to make me drive, but I got a lesson. You'd think it would have been Dad. It was Derek.
Awesome.
But hey, I learned.
Love that.
Yeah. And the transmission was still in the car afterwards, so never know. Do you have one word that describes Derek?
One word. I would choose giving. Derek is a very giving person of his time. Whatever he does, he gives 110%. You know, he's just a very giving and caring person. I'm happy to have him as a brother.
Pretty amazing.
What about you?
Oh, me? You know, one word that kind of comes to mind is that he's a a trailblazer, somebody that doesn't, and really somebody that doesn't care what other people think. You know, doesn't go along with the norms, and I guess just kind of does what he wants to do.
Anyway, Derek, we love you. We hope you have a wonderful 50th birthday party, and we can't wait to celebrate with you this weekend.
Happy birthday,
Happy
Derek.
birthday.
Thanks for being a great older brother.
Oh, wow. Derek, that's an interesting question. Yeah, well, he is the birthday boy, so there's that. Yeah, I think back on Derek, and, you know, he's a pretty good guy. I've got like this memory of, you know, first meeting him, you know, catching his eye from across the room at Battle of the Books, and gosh, our kids must have been 3rd or 4th grade, and we caught each other's eye. There was a moment there, and then there was, without words, a little exchange. Next thing you know, we'd wagered. Yes, we wagered. We wagered on the success of our kids in Battle of the Books. Sadly to say, I think I still owe him a beer. Anyway, happy birthday, Derek.
Hi, everybody. This is not Jonas Vingegaard, winner of the most recent Tour de France, but rather Steve Corneels, Derek's favorite father-in-law, and occasional biking companion. You know, when we ride around Long Lake, which is 26 miles around, most of us take about 2 hours. Derek, riding a single gear bike, goes around in about an hour. So it was very gracious of him to allow me to ride along with him. One day we rode to Birchwood, took some gravel trails, some trails through the woods, all kinds of roads, different trails. And when we got back, and I must admit to breathing a little heavy, and Derek, of course, as well, but we got back and Derek decided the last little touch would be to kind of leap the bike up about a 2-foot embankment beside the cabin, which he did, about a 1 3/4. Kind of missed it. The bike crashed. He went down on his shoulder, dislocated his shoulder, immediately stood up and reset his shoulder, living out the biblical adage, physician, heal thyself. Gives new meaning to the word Iron Man. And not only does he have a great spirit and a strong body, a big brain, but an even bigger heart. Happy birthday, Derek. Proud of you. Love you. Bye-bye.
Dee's the dandy guy that we call Derek. He's the entertainment he provides. He's really, 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 really. And E is everything he does so well. C is for the caring and compassion. K's the kick-ass friend he is to all. Put it all together, it spells Derek. Wait, D-E-R-E-C-K. Wait, are we talking about Derek Halverson? There's no C in Derek Halverson. Must be a different Derek. Oops. Oh well. A very happy 50th, you fabulous, fabulous guy. My ongoing love and support to you always, Penny.
Hey Bob, do you realize that our oldest son is turning 50 in just a couple days?
Yes, I do.
You know, as the two people who've known him the longest, it's going to be next to impossible to come up with one favorite thing that we like about him or one favorite memory.
I agree, but you know, we're going to have to do the best we can.
True. As we all know, Derek is a man of many talents, And one thing we love about him is his passion for doing everything he sets his mind to, and he's great at it all. Everything from tackling a mountain on his bike to making an outstanding cocktail. Memories? Whew. One thing that comes to mind is a memory from when he was in high school, and it had me laughing so hard I was rolling on the floor. He was in a spring musical, dressed in leather pants, strumming a guitar, singing Honestly Sincere, with a multitude of young women falling at his feet. It was crazy.
You know, I remember our 70th birthday, and Derek had decided to write a song for it, which he did, and his brothers John and Kirk joined in. The name of it was I'll Save You a Seat, kind of a tribute to Mom and Dad and the family.
It was beautiful. Other memories have brought tears to my eyes, such as seeing him dance with his infant daughter in their first home.
Yeah, and along with that, when he called and told us that Greta had been born, the first thing he said to me was, "Dad, I never knew you loved me so much." That was heartfelt.
Yeah. So we just want to wish you a happy 50th, Derek. We love you so much, and we hope that this celebration kicks off a great year of a lot more opportunities to celebrate you.
Yeah, so you're our first son to be 50. Happy birthday, Derek. We love you.
We love you.
What's my favorite thing about Derek? Maybe I start with what's not my favorite thing about Derek. Not a talker in the morning, unless he's had coffee. Not a planner so much, but is a procrastinator and manages to pull things off at the last minute. But actually my favorite thing about Derek, he has the most amazing heart and the most amazing sense of humor. And the best thing is he's managed to pull that off in both of our children. So my favorite thing about Derek is the beautiful kids that he's given me and the 25 years that we've been happily together. Favorite memory with Derek, we've amassed a lot over the years. One is when we were in medical school, we took a road trip through New Mexico. And you know, Derek, as those who know Derek know him to be a big, tough guy. He can fix anything. He's strong as an ox. You want to be with Derek when the apocalypse comes. But it turns out he can't handle the sight of his own blood. We were walking down the street in New Mexico and he stubbed his toe and it got a little bloody and he darn near passed out right there on the street. Bless. I did think maybe he should reconsider emergency medicine, but he went for it, and more power to him. Although he still passes out at the sight of his own blood, and it turns out the sight of our children's blood. We were out in the Sprinter van out in the Alvord Desert, which is way southeastern Oregon, miles from anywhere, no cell service. And the van, as you may know, is Derek's pride and joy. And we started to notice that one of the tires was going flat rather quickly. Because he's Derek, he had an air compressor in the van, and so we'd get out every so often and he'd start pumping it up. But we started realizing that the pace of the loss was getting faster. And so we decided we better take off for the town of Burns, which was 3 hours away. And we, along the way, had to stop and pump the tire. And then the second rear tire started to go flat. Now we've got the 2 kids and the dog in the back. It's hot. We don't have cell service, and we have 2 flat tires. Derek was like, we're gonna make it. And so we'd stop, we'd pump the 2 tires, we'd drive a little further, we'd stop, we'd pump the 2 tires. And finally, we limped into the town of Burns, to the Les Schwab. I'm completely relieved because now we can finally get new tires. And Derek realizes they don't have in stock the kind of tires that he wants for the van, not the ones he had in his mind. So he tries to convince me to keep driving to Bend, another 2 hours down the road, so he can get the tires he wants. Needless to say, marriage is all about compromise. And we got the tires that we needed right there at the Les Schwab in Burns. And what's one word I would use to describe Derek? Stubborn.
Okay, Gabe, what is your favorite thing about our dad?
I think my favorite thing about Dad is his ability to boost your mood if you're ever not feeling great. Like if I'm ever having a bad day, he's always there and is able to bring me up.
Yeah, and I think my favorite thing about Dad is the impact that he has on everyone and that he leaves on everyone that he meets. Everyone that's ever talked about my dad has talked about him in a really positive light. And I think he does a good job of making everyone feel special. Gabe, what is your favorite memory that you have with Dad, or memories?
I think my favorite memory that I have with Dad is in the Little League game. We talk about the story all the time where I was catching for Nate Olson and we were kind of having a bad inning and you came out. And I remember the only thing you said is you looked at us and you said, "Boys, what kind of bees make milk?" And we didn't know. And you told us boobies. Mm-hmm. And we started laughing and you walked away and we closed out the inning and won the game. So I think that's my favorite memory.
It's a good one. I mean, I have a million favorite memories, from bike rides to rafting trips. But one of my favorite was backpacking on Mount Hood with Gabe and my dad. I thought that was just one of my most fond memories. And then the time that I fell on my bike while we were mountain biking and I fell on my wrist and ended up almost passing out, basically passed out. And my dad came over and tried to help me. He's an ER doctor, probably the strongest person I've ever met. And he looked at my hand and just about fainted right there. So I thought that was a funny memory. Gabe, what's one word you would use to describe Dad?
I think one word I'd have to describe Dad is probably how humble he is. Mm-hmm. And I just learned something new about him basically every day that I think everybody else would probably brag about if they'd done that thing. So humble is the word I use to describe him.
It's a good word. And my word would be generous. He is very generous, and you can tell that everyone who meets him is thankful to have him in their life. So, yep.
Happy birthday, Dad.
Happy birthday, Dad.